The oil is boiling ... but it's not just underground. Behind the cameras of one of Taylor Sheridan's boldest series, trouble may be bubbling to the surface. Could Landman, a high-stakes drama set in the gritty world of West Texas oil, be the next project to fall under the weight of legal pressure and production delays? With fans waiting for Season 2, something bigger might be unfolding. And it all starts with understanding what Landman really is. Landman isn't just another TV drama. It's a raw, sharp look into the chaotic, risky world of oil drilling in modern-day Texas. Created by Taylor Sheridan, the same man behind Yellowstone, 1883, and mayor of Kingstown, Landman dives deep into the business of oil where billion-dollar deals, harsh environments, and personal ambition all crash together. But unlike Yellowstone, which centers around ranches and land rights, Landman focuses on the people pulling the strings behind America's energy wealth. This story follows the life of Tommy Norris, played by Billy Bob Thornton, a veteran oilman, trying to navigate a dangerous and constantly shifting industry. He's part deal maker, part fixer, and part survivor, someone who knows that in this line of work, you can strike it rich one day and lose everything the next. The series gives viewers a fictional but grounded look into the lives of Landman, the real-life negotiators who secure mineral rights, manage leases, and make sure the oil keeps flowing. Season 1 of Landman was praised for its sharp writing and heavy realism. It wasn't about flashy explosions or over-the-top drama. Instead, it gave us a character-driven story full of grit, money, and betrayal. Billy Bob Thornton brought a level of calm intensity to the lead role that helped ground the chaos around him. The rest of the cast, featuring names like Ollie Larder and Michelle Randolph, added layers of depth to a story already soaked in tension. What makes Landman different from other dramas is its setting. West Texas, the heart of the U.S. oil boom, isn't just a backdrop, it's almost a character in itself. Every dusty road, every steel pipeline, every lonely bar feels like it belongs in a world where success is measured in barrels, not bank accounts. The show doesn't shy away from showing the dark sides either. Shady contracts, ruthless corporate behavior, environmental risks, and broken families left behind by the chase for wealth. The idea for Landman was inspired by the Boomtown podcast, which explored the real oil boom in Texas and its effect on the people living through it. Taylor Sheridan, known for turning real-world struggles into powerful fiction, saw an opportunity to tell a story about a world most people don't think about, but one that affects nearly every part of their lives. So when Landman premiered, it didn't just add another title to Sheridan's growing empire. It stood out as a fresh take on American ambition, one rooted in the earth itself. It was personal, political, and brutally honest, and fans quickly got hooked. But now, with whispers of legal trouble and signs of production delays, many are wondering, is the oil drying up, or is Season 2 just hitting a few bumps on the road to something bigger? Before we get to the behind-the-scenes issues, we first have to ask, why would such a successful show suddenly be in trouble? In the next section, we'll dig into the Season 2 problem, what's causing the delay, what's been confirmed, and why Taylor Sheridan may be facing more than just creative pressure this time. As Landman Season 1 wrapped up with strong fan reactions and growing interest, everyone expected Season 2 to roll forward quickly, especially with a creator like Taylor Sheridan, known for pushing out shows back-to-back. But suddenly, the momentum slowed, and then silence. Now rumors are flying, delays, legal red tape, internal struggles. Some fans even wonder if Landman Season 2 is in danger of being canceled altogether. So what exactly is going on? To start, there's been a noticeable lack of official updates. Paramount Plus hasn't released a solid premiere date or production timeline for Season 2. That's already a red flag, especially for a Sheridan project, where new seasons are usually announced before the credits on the last episode even finish rolling. Industry insiders are beginning to whisper that Landman may be caught up in something more complicated than a standard scheduling delay. Part of the issue may be connected to behind-the-scenes business Sheridan's deal with Paramount has made headlines before, especially for how much creative freedom and money he's been given. But with rising production costs and a shift in the streaming industry, sources say Paramount is tightening budgets and rethinking content priorities. That could mean less money or less control for Sheridan's shows, and Landman, while promising, doesn't yet have the same guaranteed audience as Yellowstone. It might be seen as a risk. Then there's the legal noise. Reports suggest that there may be disputes around the source material and rights to the Landman concept. Since it was inspired by a real podcast, Boomtown, questions have surfaced about ownership, adaptation rights, and how credit is being shared. Nothing has been confirmed officially, but insiders claim that Sheridan's production company is facing creative disagreements with other parties involved in the show's development. When legal teams start getting involved, delays are almost always inevitable. Adding to the problem, several of the cast members have moved on to other projects during the quiet period. That could mean reworking schedules, negotiating new contracts, or even replacing actors if timelines stretch too far. When shows hit these kinds of speed bumps, it's not just about the writing, it's about logistics, money, and contracts. And every one of those pieces needs to click into place before the cameras start rolling again. Some people close to the production suggest that season 2 is still happening, but it may come later than expected and possibly with changes to the storyline or cast. Others aren't so sure. Without solid statements from Paramount or Taylor Sheridan himself, the silence is feeding more and more speculation online. Let's also not forget that Sheridan is juggling multiple shows at once. He's overseeing the end of Yellowstone, developing spin-offs like 1944, and working on Mayor of Kingstown and Tulsa King. He's known for writing every episode of his shows personally. That's a massive workload, and it may finally be catching up to him. All of this puts Landman Season 2 in a tough spot. Even though fans are ready, the machine behind the show seems stuck in a complicated stall. Whether it's legal issues, creative changes, or studio strategy, one thing is clear: the road ahead isn't smooth. So the big question now is, how serious is this slowdown? Is Landman just waiting for the dust to settle, or is something bigger going wrong behind closed doors? In the next section, we'll go even deeper into the legal drama building around Taylor Sheridan and how it could affect Landman and more of his empire. Taylor Sheridan isn't just a showrunner. He's a storyteller, a director, and a businessman. Over the last few years, he's built one of the most successful TV franchises in modern entertainment, from Yellowstone to 1883, Mayor of Kingstown, and Tulsa King. But behind all the success, cracks are starting to show. And in the case of Landman, those cracks might be turning into legal threats. Let's go back to the roots. Landman is based, at least in part, on a podcast called Boomtown, created by Texas Monthly. That podcast explored the real-world oil boom in West Texas and the chaos that came with it: big money, small-town change, and moral gray zones. When Taylor Sheridan decided to adapt it into a drama, it sounded like a perfect fit for his gritty, grounded style. But here's where it gets complicated. Sources suggest that there are questions about how closely Landman follows the podcast and whether all adaptation rights were handled correctly. In Hollywood, the line between inspired by and based on can lead to serious legal issues if the proper agreements aren't in place. While no public lawsuit has been filed as of now, there are rumors that discussions have gotten heated behind closed doors, with lawyers involved trying to work out credit, compensation, or possibly both. If this sounds familiar, it's because Sheridan has faced legal tension before. His production company, Bosque Ranch, has had reported disputes with both creative partners and studios over the years, often related to control, deadlines, and budget. Sheridan is known for being a perfectionist. He writes nearly everything himself, controls the tone of each series, and doesn't always work well with studio interference. That's part of what makes his shows so unique, but also why they can become lightning rods for legal and production conflicts. Asterisk, then there's the bigger picture with Paramount. The studio is reportedly reviewing its entire content strategy, especially as the streaming wars tighten up. Executives are now more cautious about greenlighting expensive productions. And with Landman being a high-cost, high-risk series and not yet backed by a proven fan base, Paramount may be pushing back harder on creative and legal terms than it did in the past. Sheridan's blank check deal is no longer untouchable. Asterisk and. While Taylor Sheridan is known for fighting hard for his creative vision, even the strongest voices sometimes have to bend to legal pressure. So where does that leave Landman? Asterisk will explore the wider fallout in the next section, how this legal drama could impact not just Landman, but the rest of Taylor Sheridan's growing empire. Is this a one-time setback or the beginning of something bigger? Asterisk. Another layer to the drama: copyright and intellectual property. Legal experts say that if even small parts of Landman can be tied closely to Boomtown or other sources without proper credit, it could open the door for claims of unauthorized use or breach of agreement. These types of claims are messy and slow and can easily delay a show's production by months or even years, while lawyers argue over ownership and financial stakes. Asterisk, there's also the question of how much of Landman was shaped by Sheridan himself. Was the original idea his own, or was it a shared vision that others now want proper credit for? In creative industries, this kind of dispute isn't uncommon, but when millions of dollars and studio reputations are involved, the stakes rise fast. Asterisk, the bottom line: legal trouble doesn't always start with a dramatic court filing. It often begins with long emails, tense meetings, and drawn-out negotiations. And that's exactly what may be happening now with Landman. It's not just about writing the next season, it's about who owns the story, who gets paid, and who has final control. Asterisk, and while Taylor Sheridan is known for fighting hard for his creative vision, even the strongest voices sometimes have to bend to legal pressure. So where does that leave Landman? Asterisk will explore the wider fallout in the next section, how this legal drama could impact not just Landman, but the rest of Taylor Sheridan's growing empire. Is this a one-time setback or the beginning of something bigger? Asterisk, if Taylor Sheridan was just juggling Landman, this might be easier to fix. But that's the problem. Landman is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. Over the last 5 years, Sheridan has built a storytelling empire, and now the weight of that empire may be starting to show. Asterisk, let's take a step back. Sheridan isn't just running 1 or 2 shows, he's leading a content factory. As of now, he has at least 7 major series tied to his name under the Paramount Plus umbrella. That includes Yellowstone, its spin-offs like 1883, 1923, and the upcoming 1944, along with Mayor of Kingstown, Tulsa King, and of course, Landman. It's a massive creative load for one person, and unlike other showrunners, Sheridan insists on writing nearly every single episode himself. Asterisk, that gives his shows a sharp, consistent voice. But it also means production slows down if he gets overwhelmed, and based on insider reports, that's exactly what's starting to happen. Asterisk, at the center of this pressure cooker is Yellowstone. What was once Paramount's crown jewel has turned into a behind-the-scenes soap opera of its own. Lead actor Kevin Costner's fallout with the network made headlines, delaying the final episodes and creating serious tension. Costner says he wasn't given a fair deal. The studio blames scheduling. Sheridan reportedly caught in the middle. Asterisk, this conflict has already forced changes in Sheridan's plans. A planned sequel to Yellowstone, reportedly starring Matthew McConaughey, has been confirmed, but is still in early development. Meanwhile, 1923, starring Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren, hasn't begun production on Season 2, despite being announced months ago. Add that to delays with Landman, and suddenly Sheridan's universe isn't running as smoothly as it once did. Asterisk, Sheridan is a rare creative force, no doubt. But even the best creators can be stretched thin when too many. Projects pile up, especially when studios start tightening budgets. The golden age of streaming is shifting. Studios are no longer throwing money around without asking questions. Shows are being canceled, even mid-production, and executives are demanding more control over output. Sheridan's once unlimited freedom may now be running up against boardroom reality. Asterisk, then there's the business side. Sheridan runs Bosque Ranch Productions, which doesn't just make shows, it also manages land, horses, and real-life ranch operations. He's not just writing drama about cowboys, he's living it. But managing a real-life empire while running multiple shows and battling legal disputes. It's a lot, even for someone as driven as Sheridan. Asterisk, so what does this mean for Landman? Asterisk, it means the show may be caught in the storm of something bigger. Maybe it's not the main target of a lawsuit or a budget cut, but it might be the first to get paused, rescheduled, or even sacrificed. It's new. It hasn't proven it's staying. Power like Yellowstone or Mayor of Kingstown. In a world of shrinking budgets and rising pressure, newer shows are often the first to face cuts. Asterisk, still, there's a reason fans haven't given up hope. Sheridan has pulled off creative miracles before writing full seasons in weeks, rescuing delayed projects and launching global hits from unexpected places. If anyone can power through legal trouble, studio politics, and creative burnout, it's probably him. Asterisk, but it's clear now that the path forward won't be easy. Sheridan's empire is under stress, from legal battles to scheduling nightmares. Landman may survive this storm, or it may become a symbol of what happens when even the strongest creators hit their limit. Asterisk, so the question remains, is Landman just delayed? Or is it the canary in the coal mine for Sheridan's entire TV kingdom? Asterisk, only time and maybe a few court decisions will tell. Asterisk, so here we are. A show born from real-world grit, powered by a powerhouse creator, and caught in a storm of silence, contracts, and courtroom whispers. Landman started as a bold new chapter in Taylor Sheridan's unstoppable rise. But now it stands at a crossroads, paused, questioned, and surrounded by legal shadows that no one expected this early in the game. Asterisk, it's a tough moment for fans. The promise of season 2 now hangs in the air, uncertain. There's no clear cancellation, but no green light either. Just that frustrating in-between space where shows sometimes disappear. Slowly, quietly. Asterisk, and this doesn't just affect Landman. This situation is starting to echo across Sheridan's entire creative empire. If this legal standoff drags on, or if Paramount pulls back on funding, we may see delays, recasts, or even cancellations ripple through the rest of the Sheridan-verse. This could be the beginning of a much larger shift, not just for Sheridan, but for how streaming giants handle powerful, high-cost creators. Asterisk, but here's the truth. Taylor Sheridan isn't the type to go down easy. He's built a reputation on grit, determination, and fighting for his vision even when the system pushes back. So while Landman may be in trouble now, don't count it out just yet. If the oil's still there, Sheridan will drill through. Asterisk, so what do you think? Is Landman on a brief pause, or is this the start of a shutdown? Asterisk, tell us in the comments below. Asterisk, will Landman rise again, or is Taylor Sheridan spread too thin? To save it, asterisk, and if you want more deep dives into the drama behind the screen, from lawsuits to leaks to legends in the making, asterisk, hit that subscribe button, tap the bell, and stay tuned. Asterisk, because this story, it's far from over. Asterisk, until next time, keep watching the shadows behind the screen. Asterisk, asterisk.